Welcome everyone to another episode of MPC on MCP. This is episode number 10. We're quite proud we've hit double figures. This is like the longest thing we've committed to ever.
Apart from each other.
And, you know, our
actual
relationships, our actual relationships.
Yep.
But yeah. So yeah, we are back. May the 4th be with you for the Star Wars fans in the room. I am wearing a Star Wars t-shirt today. You can't really see it. It's got an Outwalker down there somewhere. Hey, it's all owned by Disney. It's fine.
It is. I can't wait for the old crossover.
I mean, I hope that never happens. But
yeah, actually.
I just expect to see the Death Star in like Guardians of the Galaxy 3 or something. So yeah, been a good week. We were obviously talking about Black Order last week, so going back to the good guys again this week. Pat's gonna take us through some A-Force. He's played them a little bit now.
I think I've probably played them now more than I have played any other affiliation, actually.
Yeah, definitely. Them and Avengers, you know.
Yeah, I was thinking about this today. I do actually think I played more with A-Force.
Nice. As soon as She-Hulk got released, you were pretty keen on them. So.
I was like, yep.
I was like, I do like the model, but the actual affiliation does nothing for me really. So, like, they're good in game. Don't get me wrong, but
you're just not interested.
Just not interested enough to really commit. I would play them, but there's higher priorities for me.
That's cool.
If they turn evil, maybe. Obviously they do have some evil, some bad guy, well,
we'll see.
Toe in the line.
Yeah.
So what have you been up to this week, Patrice?
Not too much MPC stuff, to be fair. Other than that, we played a game. We had a game. We streamed a game.
We did.
We put that up on the YouTubes and on the Across the Bifrost.
That's all the cool. The hammer mistakes, because we do it every time we play hammers. Every time. It's like our most played scenario, probably.
Yeah.
We still forget the tactics card tax on the hammers. Yep. So ignore that.
I did look back through it. I actually don't think it would have made too much of a difference. I think had you won off the
if I'd won, then it's
subsequent big move. That would have been a big one. But
I think at that point it slipped away from me though.
Yeah,
because I knew
it was a really fun game actually. I enjoyed the Web Warriors. Definitely need to play with them again a few more times. I felt like we saw the brute force that is Carnage, then the brute force that is Miles Morales. Like, it's as simple as that.
No, that shouldn't have. No. Great play, and it just showed what can go right when the dice are on your side as well.
And when you do that all webbed up turn, like that's what you expect to see with these.
That was what you wanted. That was what you wanted. So
I'm glad we got to see it.
It was great. Like,
yeah,
I was fuming during the game on my dice on Carnage because it was something like.
But I think that shows the inherent weakness that when you have a character who is so dice dependent.
Yeah.
Like when it goes off, like I've seen it and you hear about it in the other discussions with the characters. Yep. You can theory craft it and you think, damn, like this is going to be sick. Like he is just going to murderize people. And then when you roll 9 dice and hit once, like it sucks. Yeah. It's as simple as that.
Do you know what though? I'm not going to lie. I got my actual dice out.
Yeah.
I rolled it a few times because I get the cards out to look through for the episode, and I just took a handful of dice and was like, do you know what? Let's just see what like how often I rolled them. Probably it wasn't maybe 15 or 20 times ish. Like just grabbing them, rolling them, just quick glance at the results, whatever. I wasn't rolling any crits or anything like that. Not once did I roll less than like 3 hits.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and that's because statistics are that you would get that many hits, not that you would get 1 hit, and then so many skulls was the problem as well.
And do it twice, and basically do it, literally like a 9 dice and a 7 dice, or a 7 dice and then a 9 dice. I can't remember which order I did it, and get like 2 hits across the board.
I mean, one time I do think I did do pretty well on defense, but then the other time I just didn't have to.
Because I was there like, damn, Spider-Man's amazing. Spider-Man's so defensive, and you're like, you just didn't hit me, and I'm like, oh yeah.
So that was fun. That was a fun game. We definitely want to do more of those, for sure.
Yes.
I think the more we do that, the speedier they'll come and stuff like that. We did have. It was probably in time for last week's episode, but we wanted to talk about the characters that were sort of shown off. We obviously had the new banned and restricted list, which is quite cool. Today. Yeah. I think we can just talk about that now.
Yeah, let's do it now. Let me.
Ding dong, the witch is dead. Hired is no more.
We didn't need that.
I think it's good for the game in general.
No, I obviously I think everyone agrees right there.
Yeah, it's just I've never seen such a sort of general unanimous gentleman's agreement in the game where they're just like, cool. I mean, if you guys like at the very top level, we're going to play it because it's the most powerful thing. But basically, if you weren't doing that, you weren't playing it because it was unfun. And that is basically what the two wheels came out and said. They said, look, we missed it. And turns out when that Asgard list runs away with all the objectives, it's not fun for either player. Like I've both done it once and had it done against me once and did not enjoy it either time, and said basically after both times, I'm done. Like this is like I don't want to play against that and I don't want to play with it. So personally, very happy it's gone. I think it's a cool concept, and I think they just needed to be more taxing on it. Like they just needed to be like more restrictions on who can do it. And it's much like Drop Off, isn't it? It's like Drop Off is obviously a very powerful card. We now get a faction specific card, which we'll be talking about later. There's just more restrictions put onto it, and that, while it's a very powerful card, like in A-Force, it's restricted enough that it's not breaking the game.
And if your opponent's playing A-Force, you can probably go, I can plan for this because you pretty much know he's going to have it.
And you do now. Like if you're coming against my A-Force list, like you've played against me dropping.
Oh yeah, I've made that mistake. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and you make it a few times, and then you think, I know what to do here, and like I'm not going to give him that squishy target. Maybe I give up that center point. I
gave you a Thanos, and you still killed him, but
yeah, true. But that I think that's a testament to the power that is She-Hulk attacking 3 times. But I'm glad it's gone, and I'm glad that the general consensus is that everyone else is glad they're gone because
it's good. It's good
that
to
I
see.
wasn't just being a salty person losing.
No. I mean, I used it with Criminal Syndicate. It isn't overly powerful with them. Like it's fine. It's good. Actually. I don't think you didn't really disagree with that when I used it a couple of times against you. This was early days before we realised how good it actually was. I realised it was, a decent card, but didn't realise quite how
aggressive.
Aggressive you can play it really. And because I never even thought about using like the Asgardians back when Kingpin first came out. Like I was like, was it King? Did it come with Kingpin? Yeah, it did, didn't it? Yeah. So and because it came with Kingpin, I thought, oh sweet, Criminal Syndicate, I'll be playing it with them.
Like, oh yeah, sweet, this faction of slow movers. Like, this is cool.
Yeah, this is great. It brings the objectives to me. I don't have to move so far up the board.
I've got to spend the tactics card to get there, and then spend the tactics card to move it away. Like,
exactly. I'll just move it to me. This works well. I'd like to see maybe a Criminal Syndicate specific version of it. Maybe like we discussed this. Maybe just turn around and say, look, it's Criminal Syndicate only. Which maybe that's what they were thinking when they first released it with the Kingpin card. Maybe that's why they missed it. We can tell from the banned and restricted list. There's not many cards on there. They've thought pretty hard about these cards and these expansions and things. So maybe it was meant to be a Criminal Syndicate card, and they just went, "Oops, forgot to put that bit on there."
Never know. But yeah, glad it's gone. We have an addition to. We have 2 additions to the restricted list. Yeah. Do you want to take the first one?
So the next card we've got is All You've Got, which I don't think was too much of a surprise because we have been seeing that a lot in a lot of lists recently. We've both played it. It does have the high tax, which we've discussed on which Hive Muscle doesn't have. But it's very powerful. It's seeing a lot of play, and I think this is more of a decision just to reduce the amount it's played rather than outright say we don't want people to play it. Yeah. It's just you see it in some other games where they're just like, do you know what? We're a bit bored of seeing it in every 8 card choice. Let's just let's give people the option to take it still, but give you that sort of second guess yourself. Like, do I really want that, or would I rather have a med pack or a brace for impact, etc.
I think what the Wills talked about as well was the fact that for new players, what they wanted to show was when a new player comes in, it's a bit of it's not a negative play experience, All You've Got, but it's like you got. Like, it's one of those cards where it's like, if you don't know what's about to happen, you are going to get got. So it's just like a little warning to just say, look, if you're new to the game, this card will do stuff which will be negative to your overall chance of winning the game. So just beware. And I think that's cool. I think that's absolutely a totally fine thing to put in the game.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I think it was expected. I was expecting it sooner.
Yeah.
Although I guess it's not been. I can't even remember when that card came out. Actually.
It was nearly 6 months to the day between the 2 ban restricteds, and they said that that's not something they're planning on doing in the future. It just happened to be that that was the thing, and I think
just when it landed. I guess at the moment with playtime being restricted to just online, basically, it makes sense that these don't come out too often.
As often. And finally, we had a crisis.
This is interesting.
Grips. Panic grips as evacuation's efforts continue. So this is, evacuation. So this is the one where you hold the citizen, you get a VP, or you evacuate the citizen for 6 power, and you get 2 VP, and that citizen's removed from the battlefield. Now, I played this a lot. I do think this is one. It's the reason it was restricted is because it's played a lot. It's a crisis that is chosen a lot because it's in rosters such as A-Force and Asgard, 2 of the more top tier rosters, where you get access to a lot more power. It's a lot easier to evacuate early, or you're tougher as well. Generally, they have tougher fighters, tougher characters, so you can hold it,
take that damage,
then
evacuate this,
then evacuate.
I quite liked it in my Brotherhood deck as well.
It for probably similar reasons, where you've got these characters who you get power free, or not free, but it feels free sometimes with what you're doing. So absolutely, it makes roster building a little odd, and I think generally, unless you have a game plan where you are almost guaranteed, like the win percentage is so high in your favor if you play this crisis, I don't think we're going to be seeing this crisis anymore.
I agree with what you're saying there. Unless you're planning something around it, and your game plan is.
The tactic cards are so much more valuable because you have guaranteed access to them every game. You can pick Panic and it not come up as one of your 2 chosen ones, or your opponent picks. Your opponent picks secures.
You've got it's less than a 50-50 chance of getting it, because you've got a win priority, you've got to choose that, and then you've still got to hope it's one of your 2 out of your 3 once you've dealt them out. So it is a gamble if you're.
And not only that, if your opponent wins priority and they don't really want to pick secures, but they see you've got Panic, they must assume you have a game plan for Panic.
Yeah, I think so.
So maybe then they do pick secures.
Could be a bluff, I suppose.
Or they pick extracts. It could also be a bluff.
If you genuinely, if you don't need that second restricted tactics card, I think as more stuff gets restricted, it definitely. I completely agree. It will definitely get knocked out. But at the moment, I think you can get away with just having 1 restricted card in. Depending on depending on what you want to do. But Yeah, it could be. It could be actually. It could be a nice bluff if you've got the space for it. It could be a nice bluff. You've still got a plan to play it as well, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. But all in all, I'm very happy to see AMG interacting with the game on this level, considering there has been no in play. You know, they must know that we're playing it in other ways.
Oh,
otherwise they would not put one of these lists out.
I think they're very aware of the leagues and things that are going on.
They must do. They might not be able to say it and whatnot, but they must be aware, which is good. And the game probably wouldn't have survived without it. So, at least not in the level that it is now, and not with the media. The support exactly. But I think that basically covers the gap that we missed from last week's episode. I did want to mention the restricted restricted list a little bit, but today I am going to be taking the A Force. Woo! Repping the ladies. So Matt, do you even know who the A Force are, other than a team of ladies?
I want to say they were formed in the Ultimate Comics, in one of the crossovers, but I can't remember.
Close. So, much like Web Warriors, they are a super new team to the Marvel family. They debuted in 2015's A-Force comic, which was a tie-in to Hickman's Secret Wars. Which was the comic was originally written by G. Willie Wilson and Margaret Bennett, with art from Jorge Molina, and the storyline involved an offshoot, so it was a tie-in to that Secret Wars main comic, which was involving the destruction of the Marvel Universe and the subsequent combination of various alternate universes, such as the Ultimate Universe, Marvel 2099, House of M, etc., all combining into this one world called Battle World. This world, Battle World, was divided into many different nations, and one of which was called Arcadia. Arcadia is a matriarchal society, so from the writer's mouth herself, she said it's where the Marvel heroines are sort of leaders in their own civilization, and the A-Force are the defenders of Arcadia, hence the leadership name. It's almost like AMG know what they're doing. They've had 3 comic runs in general. They had the original Secret Wars run, which ran for 5 issues, and then they had the all new, all different comic run, which it wasn't as good as the original 5. And then you had a tie-in with the Civil War 2. And the teams across these 3 runs have changed, but over those 3 runs, they've included basically every Marvel female heroine.
Yeah.
Basically the entirety of comics history. We got a little sneak peek of them in the MCU in Endgame.
That was more of an Easter egg, wasn't it? Where they sort of
was a little Easter egg. Yeah, exactly. It was just basically the ladies all got together and got to have their time in the spotlight, and it was very cool.
It was cool.
But there was no She-Hulk, so was it really the A-Force?
I mean, she's coming.
She is coming. I cannot wait for that TV show. But yes, they are a very large roster. So all in all, 3, 4, 5. I didn't write it down. 6, 7, 8,
15,
9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
That was a guess.
Mad. No, you're right. It's 14 released. There's actually more on the roster list because Black Cat and Scarlet Witch are not yet released, but are on the roster list there. So yeah, 14. Considering they only really came out with She-Hulk, that is a big roster. They've got threat levels ranging from 6 to 2. So making mono affiliation here is really easy. You've got a couple of 2s, a load of 3s, 4s, a 5 and a 6. So really, you've got all bases covered there. If you wanted to, you've got a lot of crossover with rosters with the Avengers, Inhumans, X-Force, Wakanda, to name but a few. Asgard.
I was going to say they can almost like cross affiliation with every other good, every other good list. Yeah,
I had a Battle Realm list, which was I called the Triple A's, and it was just A-Force, Avengers, Asgard, and it did not matter. Like every character was in at least 2 affiliations, and a few of them were in 3. So that was pretty cool. I think this was the main reason I liked A-Force was just the flexibility in the characters there. You know, we had a lot of physical characters. You got Angela, She-Hulk. You know, they're going to do a lot of damage. You've got a second bodyguard in Okoye, because we're going to talk about it in a minute. She-Hulk has bodyguard by another name. Medusa, I got to use her for the first time the other day in the Web Warriors, but I cannot wait to play her. She's going to be even better in A-Force. You know, I was sitting on 8 power for most of the game as Web Warriors, so imagine when you're just getting a free power whenever someone else is hurt. Like, she is never going to have any power problems, and boy, can she hit like a freight train, I have discovered. You got Valkyrie, who, again, neither of us have ever had great success with her, but we know that she's going to be able to pump out the damage. You then got energy attacks with Captain Marvel and Crystal. Shuri, who, you know, obviously isn't much of an attacker per se, but she has a very interesting spender. To be honest, everyone forgets that's 7 dice with a wild stagger. Like, that is, I know most of the time you're spending your power on rerolls, but boy oh boy can that attack do some hurt when you need it to. Wasp as well is another energy user. Really, good. What we need is Scarlet Witch to come out, and then we've got all bases covered, really.
Yeah, that's gonna be a scary 11 power right there. She-Hulk and Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, because I did read that right. Scarlet Witch is a flyer.
She is, yeah.
Yeah. So important to note, we want flyers in an A-Force roster.
Oh yeah, no, I'm already planning like how to stop that. She's only a medium mover though. She's not quite Angela like speed, but
yeah. And that is a big thing. She probably won't be replacing Angela as the drop-off aficionado or the special delivery.
Oh, there's your 16 threat. There's your 16 threat list. Then Angela, Scarlet Witch, She-Hulk.
Beautiful. I love it. But why don't we take a little look at She-Hulk herself, Jennifer Walters, the second Hulk we have seen in the game, and the second one at 6 threat, and the second one with 20 health. She's a size 3 medium move, 3 physical defense, 4 energy, and 3 mystic. So already we're looking a little bit more survivable than her cousin, old Brucey boy. She has one of the best builders in the game. Range 2, 7 dice physical attack, sensational uppercut. You gain power equal to the damage dealt. And after this attack is resolved, the target character gains the slow special condition. I love it. 7 dice. That is bananas. Like, this is why she actually, even though we're going to look through the card, there's a lot that she has to spend power on. Combined with her leadership ability, actually, I've never really been power hungry or power starved.
She's not power. She uses a lot of power, but she's not power. She is a battery, as basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Her second attack is the spender, the defense rest, range 3, big.
I forgot that in one of our games.
Yeah, costs 5. 9 dice. If the target deals damage after the attack is resolved, the target character gains the slow and stun special condition. However, if the target character already was slowed, it gains the stagger instead. So really what this card wants you to do is sensational uppercut into the defense rests. And funnily enough, with 7 dice, if you've got a hammer on them, bumping that up to 8, or, 11 if you've got all 4 hammers on, which I have had all 4 hammers on She-Hulk before, and let me tell you, that is a fun time.
Thank God that wasn't against me.
No, it wasn't. But yeah, that's what you want to be doing. That's what you want to be doing. She has a plethora, should we say, of superpowers. Ooh, big word, go Pat. First one, active, clear the court, costs 3. This is a throw, so it's a choose a character or terrain feature, both a size 4 or less, within 2, and throw it medium. You can abuse once per turn.
Very nice.
Love it. Cost 3, who cares? You're always going to have it. Yeah, I think this is incredible. This is just what you want to see.
It's a great throw.
It's a great throw. It adds a bit of control to a bruiser type character. Next, we have another active, also cost 3, superior weight training. During the next attack made by this character this turn, add dice to the attack roll equal to the size of the target. It doesn't come up all that often, but I often have used this on most characters are size 2.
Yeah.
A lot of characters are size 2. three power for 2 dice when you want to guarantee.
Is the average.
Yeah, if you want to guarantee the knockout or the dazing or the KO, sometimes you do just think, you know what, this extra 2 dice will be the difference between me doing it or not doing it. And then when you get to the size 3s or 4s, that's when it really becomes worth it.
I'm definitely doing this, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've seen before in other characters that 3 power for 2 dice on the attack side of things is usually about the average.
Absolutely.
And there are no size 1 characters apart from Ant-Man and Wasp when they're in
Ant-Man and Wasp
when
they're little, yeah.
Yeah. So not even then, not the whole game. You know,
exactly.
I'm not expecting to see any. I'm trying to think. Oh, is Rocket size 1 actually?
I couldn't tell you. I've never used him. Never been up against him.
I've got a feeling Rocket is actually size 1.
Rocket Raccoon is. Give me a little drum roll, Matt. Give me a little drum roll. Drum roll. It's not loading.
He must be, right? He's got to be size 1.
Why you no load? All right, well, let's just hang on that little.
It doesn't matter. You're probably not going to be wasting She-Hulk. You're probably not going to be wasting She-Hulk's attack on Rocket Raccoon.
But yeah, we have moving on to the legal defense. So this is a reactive superpower. Cost 2. When an allied character within 2 of this character is targeted by an attack, this character makes it a superpower. This character becomes target of the attack regardless of range and line of sight. Bodyguard by any other name. It's amazing. This is so good. She has 20 health. She has good defenses. She's probably going to be able to tank whatever attack comes their way.
She can be taken down in 1 round of attacks. It's fine.
I mean, yeah, that's what I was about to move on to. But yeah, dice can be dice, and
dice can be dice.
You can offer to take that bodyguard and then lose 16 health, which is what happened one time. I'm pretty sure it was in like a round of attacks, and I was like,
it was yeah. And then it was just the first. It was good.
It wasn't good, but generally, She-Hulk probably won't take that much damage. I would think.
Agreed.
Rocket Raccoon is size
1.
Yeah. We have a passive. Well, we have 2 passives actually. Gamma Transfusion is the first one. During the power phase, this character gains an additional power. Awesome.
Lovely.
She gains 2 power. After an attack targeting this character is resolved, if this character suffered damage, it may advance short towards the attacking character. Additionally, if this character would flip its stat card to the injured side, it is KO'd instead. So we go, this is good, this is good, this is bad. And that's how that text goes.
Basically.
Both the top. The gaining additional power is wicked. And the advancing short has come up.
You've got aggressive times on your card, yep.
Has come up many times. She's a medium mover, so she on a medium base as well, so she's not struggling for movement. But she loves extra
free move.
Free move's a free move, exactly. It's really good against those attacks that do the pushes away, because it just says, nah, I'm not.
Well, that's exactly what I did with Wolverine, isn't it? I did whatever Wolverine's attack's called, and then I was like, well, I'll throw you. Oh, you're just going to be right back where you started. So
right back, yeah. The flipping its stat card to the injured side and what is KOing instead of doing that is a big downside. We've seen it before on Hulk. It's the biggest drawback in Hulk, and funnily enough, it's the biggest drawback on She-Hulk as well. However, She-Hulk is more defensive, and generally, I think because you're going to be building the roster around her a little bit more, you can mitigate that somewhat.
Yeah.
And being immune to poison is cool, especially when we have the new Terrigen Mists crisis, which I actually really like with A-Force. It's not nothing. It's not nothing.
Yeah, I mean, you've got, again, just to the Terrigen Mist crises, you've got Medusa and Crystal as well, both immune to poison.
Oh, in my roster, yeah.
You've got a solid roster to to work with there if you're planning that sort of around that crisis.
Yeah, brilliant. And finally, she is the Defenders of Arcadia. When an allied character is damaged by an enemy effect, other allied characters may gain 1 power. A character may not gain more than 1 power from this leadership ability per turn.
Lovely.
This is amazing.
It's just too good.
You already get power from being hurt, but getting your allies have power, letting your allies have power when you get hurt is big.
Just punch me in the face.
Yeah, just do it. Wasp needs the power here.
Yeah, it's
brilliant. It's so good. It's one of the most powerful leadership abilities, and the reason being
right up there. Free power
is extra power. Yeah. For me, it is between A-Force and Brotherhood. Magneto being the two most powerful affiliations, and funny enough, they do two very similar things where you can.
I mean, it's the opposite of Cabal, isn't it? It's take damage instead of deal damage.
Yeah,
that's just power for itself, though, because they're greedy. But
they are greedy, whereas these guys, we're all about
taking a punch and powering someone else up.
Yeah. So I love She-Hulk. She-Hulk really is the linchpin by which you build an A-Force roster. Yeah. She's sixth threat. This is huge. We don't have another sixth threat leader, right? Max is, Max is sixth threat. I lied. Sue me.
Thanos.
Yeah, whatever. What I'm saying, in fairness, actually, I stand by what I said, because in both those leaders, you probably have to build around the fact that you have a sixth threat leader as well.
I think any of the, if you're playing a sixth threat leader, you have to plan around that.
Around the fact that like around a third to a quarter of your roster is going to be invested in one character.
Doctor Strange is basically always sixth threat as well.
True, actually, yeah. We've got a few sixth threat leaders.
Yeah, he's not. He's five threat, but we know what we're talking about. When we get to defenders, we'll discuss that.
She's brilliant. She's got a lot of health. She's tanky. She can take a punch for other people. She has a throw. She has a way to add dice. She gets extra power, and then she just splats people. That's what Jennifer Walters does. That's what she does. I love it.
And that's,
So there is quite an extensive roster, as I have talked about before, with 14 characters, and some of them we're going to talk about more in other affiliations. So what I'm going to do here is really just pick and choose the characters who I really like and talk about them in relation to A-Force, not blurt out their card and say what they do and things like that.
That makes sense. Yeah.
All right.
Otherwise, we'll be here all night.
Yeah, exactly. We'll start at the top. Angela. We talked about her when we talked about Asgard. So what she is, she's a 5 threat, tanky character with 4s across the board, 6 stamina both sides. 6 and 7 even, actually.
Yeah.
So 13 stamina, but she's a long mover.
What she is Jennifer Walters Taxi.
Yeah, basically, a lot of the time. But not only that, you're going to hear this a lot. In A-Force, she gets the power she needs to do her throw, which costs 2. Yeah, she has 2 power because she's Asgardian, but what she really wants to be doing is sort of, heaven's wrathing if you can, like if it's worth it, because if you're going against a beefy character, adding those 3 to 4 dice can really help. But what you want to always have power for, because she is that sort of assassin, she literally is that sort of backline wiper, you want to be able to use her angelic assassin ability, which costs 2. So really what you're looking at there is you need 4 power on her every turn if you want to try and get the most out of her. Obviously, she's got to have that 1 power to safely deliver She-Hulk to the center of the battlefield or wherever she needs to be. But having a long mover who is a flyer in A-Force is huge because of the special delivery. And then even once she's done that job, she is no slouch. She's tough to take down, and she has a decent throw and a plethora, I've said it again, of ways to kill smaller, squishier targets. So that's what Angela is mainly used for. Before Hide Muscle was banned, banned. I was going to say drop, but we all had to drop it. Like, we just couldn't play it anymore. It's banned.
I shredded it.
Oh.
I didn't really.
No,
I couldn't.
I spent a lot of money on this. She's a brilliant. She was a brilliant Hide Muscle tank as well. But we don't need to worry about that anymore. So maybe her stock has gone down a little bit since the hide muscle banning, but still a fantastic
Not a lot.
player. Yeah, exactly. Not a lot. So then we've got the 2 Black Widows. I've used both in A Force, and I've used 2. The Black Widow 2, so the core box set. I've used her a lot as well because big 2 threat. I've used her a lot in Avengers and A Force. She tends to be the one that I go for because 2 threat is a lot more useful when it comes to roster building, and the long move is basically what you want her for. You want her to have long move, have stealth, be able to move up, grab objectives, martial artist when we've got to, if we're getting attacked, but most of the time just stay out of range 3 and be uninteractable, basically.
Yeah, I think Widow 3 doesn't see as much play in general anyway.
Doesn't, but I really love this card, actually.
No, do you know what? The thing is, when she first came out, everyone was doing the old Widow Bomb thing where they were dropping her off using Doomed Prophecy to double up her attack rolls, and then all you've got and getting like something like 64 dice attacks, or not in one go, obviously. Like it was like eight dice attacks.
Yeah.
And then just having, you could literally daze your opponent's entire team if you got lucky. So, and then they obviously restricted Doom Prophecy pretty much straight away. So then everyone was like, "Oh, she's not got use anymore because Black Widow 2 is just more versatile." She's one of the least played characters.
She is, and the reason for that is, what is her role?
Yeah.
Because if it's damage dealing, there's better characters. If it's maneuverability, there's other characters. She has a really cool ability with Interrogate, which is the ability to gain victory points for when characters are killed.
I keep forgetting about that as well.
Yeah. And she has, like that automatic pistol, range 3, 4 dice with rapid fire, gaining a guaranteed power is good because Widow's Kiss is actually a really interesting spender. It's an energy attack. Range 2, 6 dice, cost 3, but you add 1 dice roll. You add 1 dice to the attack for each special condition the target character has. We've already talked about the fact that She-Hulk can give out 3 special conditions. She's probably killing those characters.
Yeah, that's also
and that is the big thing.
Do you know what?
In conjunction with next character, I was going to mention.
I know you're going to mention next.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking this actually. That would work. She would actually go quite well in Inhumans.
Yeah, and I think that's a really interesting shout as well because the Inhumans leadership ability will just help her have power a little bit more easily as well. I think Crystal Medusa puts out bleed. Black Bolt stun and stagger as well. I'm pretty sure.
Definitely something. Yep.
Yep. So yeah, I think there's enough. Ronan obviously gives out judgment. So I actually agree. I think Widow 3 could be really interesting because, like you say, in Inhumans, there's just more access to those guaranteed special conditions. But the more special conditions come out, I do think we need to be aware that this Widow's Kiss will, like, if you get it up to 9 dice, it's a good control piece because not only at 9 dice energy attack are you going to be taking out a few characters or dealing a lot of damage, you're then more likely to get a wild push, which is a brilliant control piece in any roster when you're trying to hold points. So she has stealth and she has parting shot, which is the ability to basically, if they live after being attacked, you spend 2 power, the attacking character suffers damage and you get to move away short. So all in all, I'm not as low on Black Widow 3, and when the fact that once I get a few more games, I think with Crystal and Domino, spoilers, 2 characters that do have the ability to just pop out conditions like candy, I think it's cool. I think it's something to think about at the end of the day. Captain Marvel, a character who gained so much from this affiliation. A much maligned core box set character. She is an Avenger, but she never sees play in Avengers because she is so damn power hungry, man. She's a 4 threat medium mover. She flies. She has 6 stamina on both sides. Decent defenses, 3 physical, 4 energy, 3 mystic. She has a throw. Is it the best throw? It's pretty good. It's size 3, enemy or terrain, and you throw it medium. It costs 3. So already what we're seeing there is you're going to be needing power, because that's a brilliant throw to start with. You then got binary form. Like, this is the main Carol Danvers thing. Like, this is her Carol Danvers. Like, it's what she does. She goes binary. It costs 5, but until the start of this character's next activation, it adds 2 dice to its attack and defense rolls. So going up to 7 dice on a builder, going up to 6 dice on the energy blast with the full rerolls, going up to 9 dice on the rocket punch, getting that stagger, going up to 5, 6, 5 is huge. And because of the way it's worded, you can activate Captain Marvel, go binary. The rest of that turn goes on, and until you activate Captain Marvel next, she's still in binary form, having all those better defenses, with the energy absorption ability to be able to gain power when she's targeted with an energy attack. Whenever she rolls a wild, gaining that power, it really does help, but she needs more help in the power generation, and that's where the Defenders of Arcadia comes in. So I really like her. Her stock has risen so much since A-Force has come out. She's another flyer. So what we're seeing now is we've got a 5-threat flyer, we've got a 4-threat flyer, and then we're going to get a couple of 3-threat flyers. Boy, threat flyers is kind of hard to say. But she's also immune to poison, so another one of those ones that works really nicely on the Inhuman Crisis, the Territorialists. So I like Captain Marvel. She could do a lot of stuff. She just needs the power to do it. A-Force helps her get there. Next, we're going to go Crystal. She's a 3-threat flyer. Got that one out quickly. But what she does here is she just fills in a little gap, the ability to, because not only is she a 3-threat flyer, she's a long mover as well. So much like Angela, obviously the base size is smaller, so we don't get quite as long range on it. Yeah. But when you can't fit Angela into the list for crisis reasons, and it does happen, sometimes you you need to be a little bit more spread out, and having 11 threat clumped up on one side of the board is not always the best way to play the game. That's when a character like Crystal comes in. Before Crystal came out, I did use Storm a few times for this role and Wasp for a few times. Crystal just ticks the box slightly better because she is a long mover. Obviously Wasp is a long move when she's small, but just always being that long move is key. And she has the ability to put Incinerate on a number of characters, because
love Incinerate, especially when we're going for that more punchy list, which She-Hulk can do very well. Pumping out that Incinerate is muy bien. It's very, very tasty. Being in the A-Force roster as well, it just means that she's slightly more likely to get that 4 power that she needs to make that 3rd attack as well, which I think is cool. Not much to say there, really. She just fills in that the roster building gap, I think. Domino, a character which we spoke about the other episode, but really what I like her for here is the fact that she is a damage dealer at 3-threat, and she does a lot of damage dealing. And she has a guaranteed Incinerate for the cost of 1 power. Again, when you're trying to hurt other characters, when they don't have as much of a chance to, or they have less defense. Yeah, love it. So that's where Domino fits in. I cannot wait to try her out. She is in a roster that we'll be talking about later. So yeah, definitely a good shout. Gamora, I think I spoke about you at the beginning of this. I genuinely didn't know that she was 4-threat. Also, I think we can save her for the Guardians episode.
Yeah, we'll save her for the Guardians. She exists. Medusa. Really just want to talk about the fact that, wow, this character punches, and this character punches hard. This character has Braid Bash. It has Flurry. It throws. She does it twice. She gains power. She can, flip She-Hulk over her. I haven't got to do that yet. She has a throw. She has a spender at 6 power. That's A-Force love her. Not only is she one of the most popular characters in the game right now and making her way unaffiliated into many rosters, the fact that she's affiliated here just even tastier.
Yep.
Okoye, 2-threat, fills a niche when building rosters. She is another bodyguard. She gets to reroll defense dice. She-Hulk is tanky, but she isn't that tanky. She can take a hit, but she can't take too many of those hits because she doesn't daze. She dies to dice spikes. So just having a way to mitigate, a way to bodyguard, I really like her. Shuri, another character who is universally, thought
well
of as highly played character. She is good on the E maps, which She-Hulk really like, which are more of those tightly punchy maps. Just the ability to then control the middle and back points with Panther Gauntlets is great. And adding rerolls to your beefy, punchy character, who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want that?
Exactly.
So Shuri is awesome. We'll talk about her more in Wakanda, but the role she fills is as a control piece here.
And anywhere basically she goes.
Storm, like I said, I used to use her as the 3-point special delivery character. She's probably gone down a decent amount in the rosters since Crystal's come out. I just don't think she's that good when you don't use her leadership ability, which is another one of those fantastic leadership abilities.
I was going to say
it opens up an X-Men. It opens up an X-Men A-Force crossover, especially when you've got Domino and Scarlet Witch to come out soon. That does open up a 3 fighters.
Scarlet Witch's Brotherhood, but
oh yeah, she's not going to be an X.
She's Avengers brother. She is Avengers, isn't she?
Is she? You check that while I talk. I don't think she is.
Well, we don't know officially yet, do we? Until she's officially out.
They are. She is on A-Force and Brotherhood's.
She is currently.
Then we get Valkyrie. Valkyrie's another 3-threat with very good defenses, and I'm going to do quotes here. The ability to put out lots of damage.
Yeah.
Have I seen that? I have seen it. Have I done that? I have not done that. But I can understand why. I just need to do it. But yeah, Valkyrie, very highly played character. Again, opens up a decent crossover with Asgard if you want, especially because you've got Angela in there as well.
You're right. She's not on the Avengers list yet.
No. And finally, we have Wasp, a character much like Captain Marvel, gained a lot when this roster comes out. I've used Wasp a lot in A-Force. I think she's very good. She has good energy attacks when she's small. She has a half-decent throw when she's big. But she is also a long mover, which is what we want to see. She dies to a stiff breeze, but that's what you expect. And in general, a fantastic roster with one bigger mission that I don't understand. Where is Ghost Spider? Where is Gwen on this roster?
She's too good for it.
I mean,
she got an invitation. She got an invitation, and she was like, "Do you know what? Nah."
I thought you meant maybe AMQ was just like, she's too good. Like, we just can't have her.
No, I don't. I can't. I personally, I mean, obviously, I couldn't see a particular reason why she couldn't be in it.
Yeah, I mean, she is in one of the comic books that we'll talk about. She is literally on the roster, so who knows? But I have to just trust them. You know what they're doing. Maybe they play tested it and thought, you know what, she's basically going to be played in every roster if you take A-Force.
Yep.
So maybe that's why they want to do it.
Maybe they were like, she sees enough play already. Let's just not give her another home.
Like, if they want to take it, it's
unaffiliated. Exactly. Yeah.
We obviously have a couple more characters coming out. We've got Scarlet Witch, who I cannot wait.
Oh my god, she looks so good. I can't wait to boost my Brotherhood. Like, I don't care that she's 5 Magneto 6.
And then we get Black Cat as well. So Black Cat is a... Well, we'll see. If she's a 2-threat long mover... If she's
not a 2-threat, I no longer have faith in the game.
Wow, okay.
I mean, Bullseye's 3 though, so
yeah.
I called him at 2 as well. So
yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
Team tactics. We have 3 specific team tactics cards, all of which are pretty good. I will start. Yeah, I actually like it. I will start with A-Force Assemble. So A-Force Assemble is an active card. An A-Force character may spend 3 power to play this card. When an allied character is defending against an attack this round, add 1 die to the defense for each other allied A-Force character within 2 of that character. I said that A-Force likes to play on the E-maps, which is generally a bunched up one.
True.
If you can get She-Hulk another 2-3 defense dice, yeah. I don't hate it. Does it make my competitive roster? Spoilers, it does not. Does it make my fluffy list? Absolutely. And have I played it before? Yep. Have I played it before and it do nothing? Yep. Have I played it before and it gave me 3 defense? Yep. You just need. It's a very.
For 3 power, it's a very good deterrent as well, because you're like, absolutely. Why would I bother attacking that character now? They're getting 6-7 defense dice. Like, what am I doing?
Exactly. I think it's really good. The only thing you got to remember is it's basically the number of allied characters near it at the point at which it's being attacked. So
yeah, don't move away after you've done it.
Don't move away. But also it means that it's if you've got an enemy who starts to push the other characters out the way, it starts to lose its effectiveness, which I think is the main reason it doesn't get to see or doesn't see play quite as much. But
combine it with another card though.
Well, all I was going to say is we do have spoilers of America Chavez and Spider-Woman on this card, so can't wait for both of those 2.
I still don't know who America Chavez is.
Okay. We have special delivery.
No, I thought you were going to go to the next, like the less.
No.
All right, fine, whatever, do it.
I actually think Stalwart Determination is as useful as this card, and it is seen.
I like it. I like the other.
It's in all my rosters, but special delivery. This is drop off for A-Force. An A-Force character with flight begins a move action within 2 of an allied She-Hulk. They may both spend 1. Do remember, if one of them's holding a hammer, it costs an extra 1. I'm terrible at this game. And when the active character enters
the last game, so.
Yeah, place She-Hulk within 1 of it. She-Hulk may immediately perform one of her attacks that has a listed cost of 0, which, as we know, is only 1. But that only 1 is an unbelievable 7 dice attack, which pumps out slow if the character lives. This card really shapes A-Force as a roster. I don't know how many times A-Force has been played where this has not been in the 8. Is it taken every 5? No. But your opponent has to plan for it being in the 5 every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
Because a free She-Hulk to the face is scary. And it ends games and it ends characters. So if you're going up against A-Force, assume your opponent is going to play it. If they don't play it, great. If they do play it, you have a plan for it. You will see this card a lot if you're playing competitively. You will see this card a lot if you're playing not competitively. Like, it's a fun card and it's a good card. No, it is a fun card. It's a fun card. It's a move with an attack attached to it.
Yeah,
at the low cost of 2 power. Yeah, it's a little busted.
I don't think it's, but no, again, I think because drop off was the same cost, wasn't it? It's not.
Yeah.
It's just drop off was like whoever you want. Like I don't. Yeah. Like they've said, it's 1 character.
Yeah.
And you're putting not only 2 power into it, which obviously isn't a lot, but you're also committing to 6 plus 3 to 5 threat of character to actually do it. So I don't. Yeah. And they're gonna you're taking one side of the board, maybe the middle of the board. It's not that bad. It was bad when people were like, oh god, like this is happening.
What is happening?
And now people are aware of it. yes, newer players are going to be like, oh god, what, how did you do that? But
She-Hulk just flattened me.
She-Hulk just flew and hit me in the face.
Brilliant card. Plan for it.
Yeah,
you're gonna see it.
Well, maybe not fine. It's still annoying, but like.
Yeah. But it's A-Force's thing, you know. It's what
that
they
is
do.
Their thing.
It's
that
thing.
Is their.
Stalwart Determination is also their thing. This is a reactive team tactics card. During the power phase, any number of allied A-Force characters may spend 1 power to play this card. Characters that spent power this turn cannot be pushed or thrown by enemy effects this round. Pushed or thrown is huge when all you need to do is sit on those secures to win the game.
Yeah,
you're up against
end game card.
You're up against Shuri. You're up against Brotherhood. You're up against Criminal Syndicate. All of these affiliations have, and characters have throws. You know, Enchantress, Stalwart Determination just says no. We are going to stand on these points. You cannot throw me. How many attacks just have, you know, a wild throw on them? And obviously not that many, but the good attacks do. You know, and you know, Thor does, Kingpin does, blah blah blah. Other people do, I'm sure. But yeah, this is a brilliant card, and nearly always makes my 5. Always makes my 8.
Yeah,
big fan. And really, that is the characters and team tactics cards in a nutshell. I mean, we could talk about Agents of Smash, which is a She-Hulk card. This
Might
is
as well.
Really, yeah, Agents of Smash. If Hulk and She-Hulk are within 2 of the same interactive terrain feature of size 5, let me say that again, size 5 or less, they may both spend 3 to play this card, choose Hulk or She-Hulk to throw the terrain feature long. This card is so much fun. Like, this card is great. You are investing 12 threat of characters and then 6 threat of power to throw a building of size 5 at someone's face. You know what they're probably going to do? They're probably going to brace it.
Yeah.
And this is why this probably doesn't see competitive play as much as I would like it to. It will see all those fun tables.
Oh yeah, 100%. If hopefully like the events that I kind of am planning on running, where I definitely am not gonna, and I don't think any of my events are gonna be right, this bring your most competitive list ever. I'm just gonna have like stupid prizes for like the stupidest moment in the game, and if anyone gets that off, they're winning that prize.
Yeah, we need an Agents of Smash trophy.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, it's like if you kill a character with the Agents of Smash tactics card.
Yeah, you win.
You will get a prize.
Points. Yeah,
don't know what it'll be. There will be a prize.
Love it. Yeah. So, brilliant team tactics card, brilliant characters cards. What do we do with them? We put them into our roster. Matt's going to do some computer magic.
And boop.
As always, I have prepared 2 rosters for us today. A fluffy
Hopefully
roster
that is the fluffy one.
Competitive roster. Let me just have a little look. Yes, Storm's in there, so it's fluffy.
Yeah, that's what I assumed.
But interestingly, what we will see here is a lot of crossover between the characters, team tactics cards, and crises.
Do you know what I'm most disgusted with? Just to jump in straight in here and just be like, do you know what? You had 15 affiliated characters to choose from, and you put one that isn't affiliated in there.
Yeah, that was on principle. That was purely on principle.
I'm disgusted in you.
So yeah, we've got She-Hulk, Angela, Captain Marvel, Crystal, Medusa, Wasp, Black Widow, Valkyrie, Storm, and then the one that Matt is disgusted with is Ghost Spider. She's affiliated, and she's fun, and she's good, so that's why she's in this roster. Yeah, I think there's a good spread. We got
it's a good spread.
You can take whatever core you want. I basically put She-Hulk, Angela, Captain Marvel, and Crystal at the top there because you're probably taking She-Hulk plus one of those 3 in every single one of your rosters because of special delivery. Yeah, I think that's a really nice spread. You got a good amount of physical punch, you got a good amount of energy punch. No mystic attacks, but we won't have any mystic attacks until Scarlet Witch comes out. And yeah, I think this is pretty cool. Got all bases covered there. Roster building's pretty pretty flexible when it comes to playing at whatever numbers you want. But you can see I've generally gone for like 17 to 19. Obviously, Gamma is 15, but hopefully if you're playing Gamma, you can also then choose a slightly higher threat level, because I think when you're playing the fun games, generally, you want to put out as many characters as you can, I find.
Yeah.
I don't want to always play like 7 or 6 characters, but I want to play 4 or 5. I think 4 or 5 is generally where I have the most fun without having a brain attack, like having an aneurysm when you're thinking about, am I doing this in the right order?
Yeah.
What do I do? Yeah. So when it comes to tactics cards, I've gone for the 3 A-Force affiliated cards.
Makes sense.
The 2 restricted cards, go for whichever ones you want. Like we always say, even though you're playing a fun, fluffy list, it's no reason to not put powerful cards in there. They allow you to understand like why they're powerful, because they'll be powerful in this. Like they'll be powerful when you're playing like these fun, fluffy games anyway. And med pack, a heal card. Maybe you do take brace out and you put another heal card in there.
See, if I was running this personally, I think I'd drop brace for field dressing, and then if She-Hulk does, get dazed, hopefully you can field dress her and then patch up or med pack. Do you know what, patch up on She-Hulk's great because you can go up to 5, can't you?
Yeah,
Patch up.
It is really good. Yeah,
that would
it
be
is
my
really
choice,
good.
I think.
Elemental Infusion. It's a really cool crystal card. Works really nicely with She-Hulk. Just not being able to shake that incinerate, basically. And then Climbing Gear and Disarm. Climbing Gear is just that little bit extra movement. The one thing She-Hulk does really want is just to make sure she is where she needs to be. Climbing Gear helps you get there. The cost attributed to playing Climbing Gear is not so much of a problem in A-Force. You're probably going to have 3 power to spend to Climbing Gear. And Disarm is just another one of those cards that really shows that like you can gang up on an opponent character and they become weaker. I like it.
Yeah, if you're playing a lot of characters, Disarm's a great card.
Yeah. When it comes to the crises, again, really play what you want to play. But what I like to do with these fluffy, sort of less powerful lists is have them as sort of a stepping stone to what you can expect to see when you play a slightly more powerful game. So you might not play with the most powerful characters, but you have access to, like I've done here, powerful suite of tactics cards, and generally seen as pretty good crises for this affiliation. I think it speaks to the affiliation more so as well, that these crises, as we'll see when we go on to the more competitive list, are very similar. So hammers, extra dice. I think we're generally, whenever we're having a new game or with fun games, I think we generally agree that hammers is super good. Hammers just adds extra dice, makes you more likely to do more damage. People like it when they get to kill their opponent's characters. Play hammers. Spiders and scrolls. They are 17 threat, which is a good number. And I actually think A-Force are really good on these crises in general. When you look at, say, scrolls, which I think is one which I didn't put in the more competitive list, this is the one that sort of needs energy defense to sort of find the thing. Am I right? Does that sound about right?
Which one, sorry?
Scrolls.
Scrolls is...
This is one where you roll it. Oh, no, this is just roll it.
This is the crit, isn't it?
The crit, yeah.
This is the one that you're like, never take this one.
Yeah, I generally don't, but I think it does teach people, I think.
That relying on dice rolls is an idiot idea.
Relying on dice rolls is probably not always good.
But like I said in the last episode, it's good if you want to like sort of draw people in and get them stuck trying to find these points, then you run up and punch them in the face. Not
only that, but if you get it, your roster's quite good at keeping it as well, to be fair.
That's also true.
Yeah, so I really like it. Speed being reduced to small, who cares? But C maps generally are quite good when you've got special delivery, because you can just get on whatever point you need to be on. Deadly Meteors is another one of those sort of C maps, and this is the one which is the energy defense. I don't think I put this one in the more competitive list, but A-Force doesn't suck at energy defense generally.
No, it doesn't.
No, She-Hulk, Angela, Captain Marvel. It basically, I don't think it has anything lower than a 3 and has a couple of 4s in there. So just making it more likely that you're going to find the bomb. That's why I put it in there. You want to...
Makes sense.
You know, be good at what you're good at. And what you're good at is telling. And then we go to the competitive one. So what you can see here is I've swapped a few characters out, but we have a core of She-Hulk, Angela, Crystal, Medusa, Ghost Spider, Valkyrie as being exactly the same.
Yes.
So over half of the roster, I think 6 of these characters are on both rosters. So that tells you that even though it's fluffy, it still can be really powerful. Because really what I then added in is just, you know, maybe filling those gaps a little bit more. So we've got Okoye to help with that slightly more defensive stuff. We've got Shuri to help you control the points. We've got Enchantress to help you control the points. And we've got Domino in there to just really help you murder things. So yeah, I am kind of proud. Maybe proud might be the wrong word. Proud might be the wrong word. But I'm interested because this is basically a roster that I've used quite a lot. That general suite of characters there. The one that's new, Domino, I haven't. Like Domino, I can't remember what I used to run instead of. I think I did put Captain Marvel in there before instead of Domino, but I think having an extra 3 in there actually helps way more with roster building. You know, we've only got 2 4s in there, and the suite of 3s, you can actually go pretty wide with She-Hulk, even though you've got a 6 threat as your leader. But why I was saying I'm kind of proud is I was looking up today. This is super similar to Pat Dumford's season 4 finals roster. The only difference being is he played Black Panther instead of Domino, because Domino's not out.
Yeah.
So what that tells me is that one, there probably is just the consensus of what is the best roster for A-Force, and it probably is some combination of those characters that we have out here. But then, like, it was interesting to see how similar I was on the Team Tactics cards. You know, we had Brace and Medpack. I've gone for Brace and Medpack. We both went for Stalwart Determination, Special Delivery, Climbing Gear, Disarm. The main difference being is... No, he went for Hired Muscle.
Okay. And well, that can't
Wakanda Forever. Yeah, exactly. Not anymore. So yeah, he went for Wakanda Forever because
makes sense to have Wakanda Forever in there. Black Panther, yeah.
Black Panther, exactly. Whereas I sort of went mono affiliation when I built this roster. I think it's they're one of the few rosters that I feel like I don't have to dip into other affiliations to get what I need. Yeah. So I went for Elemental Fusion. I still think this is a fantastic card. It's a fantastic card in the fluffy list. It's still really good. Because most of the time we're going to be taking Brace for Impact, Medpack, Stalwart Determination, Special Delivery. So that still gives you 3 cards if you're not playing Crystal to choose from, to fill out that 5th slot, basically. Bitter Rivals. I think both of us are kind of quite hot on this card, and the more we play it, the more we see it, and we're like, actually, wow, like this card is great. This card really is. It really does help you shut off certain fighters. Yes, you could play around it, but there's a lot of tactics cards you can play around. And,
yeah, that is true.
I still think it's a really good card. Disarm we both like, and Climbing Gear makes his way from the fluffy roster to the more competitive one.
Hey, it's a free move,
still
sort of.
It's a 3 move, but it's yeah. I see myself out. Yeah. When it comes to the crises, very similar. We've got Fear Grips and Spider Infected staying the same on the extracts. We're still very good at them. So again, it's that step up from slightly fluffier lists to more competitive ones. I didn't go for Scrolls just because it's not reliable. Instead, this time I went for Struggle for the Cube. I think Cube's really good. Cube's fun. Cube gives you more power. It's a slightly more wider one. So you can see what we've done here. Like, if you win the extracts, you can go very wide and build a very wide roster. If you win on the secures and you want to play on those E's and C's, they're much more cramped up. So you can play, you have to pick what kind of roster you want to play. But I think A-Force are really good at that. Like I said, having a suite of 3s and a 2 in there, it doesn't matter that your leader's 6, you're still going to be able to go 6 wide sometimes if you need to. 6, 3, 9, 12, 15, 18. Yeah, 20 you can go 6 wide. So I think that's good. And again, the only difference on the secures, I've kept Gamma and Demons. Instead of Meteors, I've gone for Terrigen Mists. Yeah, I just think we've got She-Hulk, Crystal, Shuri.
Makes sense.
All characters that Medusa, not Medusa, not
I know
Shuri,
you said
sorry.
Shuri, but you meant Medusa.
Yeah, I meant Medusa. All characters who do not care about poison. And yeah, I actually just think we're generally good at this. When you've got 2 points that you want to fight over, you can guarantee as the A-Force player, I put guarantee, air quotes there, obviously nothing's guaranteed in life. But you can pretty much say, I'm going to hold one of these points and then win on the extracts, because we're going to be 50-50 on the secures, and then my game plan is basically just to win on the extracts following that. So yeah, I've played probably 80% of this roster. The main new things that's come in is the Domino, and I don't think I was playing Crystal before. Obviously, she has not been out all that long, but she's a shoe-in for this kind of roster.
Makes sense.
And yeah, like I said, if it's good enough for Pat Dunford, it should be good enough for any of us. His crises was slightly different, but he was playing Gamma and Demons as well. He was playing Panic. Obviously, it wasn't restricted back then, and Hammers. So, there are still some similarities, but I think that's because it's quite clearly very powerful with this affiliation. So yeah, we've got like the sort of slightly more fun, but you know what? You're going to have a fun time playing the more competitive one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think they're good rosters. I do say so myself.
I agree. I like them. If I was ever enticed to play A-Force at any point, I think I would be looking at something similar.
Love it. So, comic books, which we then talk about. So, for anyone who doesn't know, we tend to go over what they do in MCP, and then we talk usually pretty extensively about the comics as well, because it's a part that we both enjoy. But as I said before, A-Force have only been around since 2015, and so even with 2020 being the year it was, that's still only 5 years ago, really. Like, that's still only 5 years of comics, and they've only had 3 actual comic runs themselves. For me, A-Force 2015 was the original 5-issue run, like I said, tied in with Secret Wars. G. Willie Wilson, Margaret Bennett, art from Jorge Molino. I really like this, even though the roster obviously later on is greatly expanded to include nearly every female character. This here really focused on She-Hulk, Dazzler, Medusa, Nico Minoru, who is Sister Grimm, a very cool Runaways character, sort of a bit like Scarlet Witch. Like, she's a witch, like she has magic. She uses blood magic, however, which is cool. And then a new character called Singularity. Now, this was a really cool 5. Obviously, it interacted with other characters, but these were the main 5. You got Dazzler, who's this super cheerful, upbeat, very hopeful character. And obviously, the whole thing about Secret Wars is super depressing. The fact that all these universes are dying and we've been forced to, live in this, battle world where everything's different to how it once was. You got Nico, or Sister Grimm, who is slightly more depressed, not only for the fact that everything's going on with Battleworld, but also, spoilers, something happens to America Chavez. It happens very soon. I think it's in the first couple of pages of issue 1. So she's a little bit more down to earth, a little bit more downbeat. Then you've got sort of these 2 great leaders. You've got She-Hulk and Medusa. She-Hulk is the leader of the A-Force, but then you've got Medusa, who is obviously the queen of the Inhumans, and they have a really nice sort of back-to-back. It's a very cool interactions between them. The story itself, Obviously, it takes place in Battleworld, takes place in Arcadia. It involves the Atlanteans. So you got Namor, Namorita, and Namora. And no, I did not make those last two names up.
No, I know.
They are genuine Atlantean characters. The Thor Corps, who are a really cool thing from Battleworld,
So good.
from Secret Wars. You had the Sentinels. You had zombie hordes. You had everything. Like, this was all jammed into 5 issues. Like, it was a lot there, and never did it feel rushed. Never did it feel out of place. The art looked amazing, and of course, we had the character Singularity, who is new to this issue, new to this whole comic run. She's sort of a mysterious cosmic being. She looks awesome. Like, she's this black, shadowy figure that actually just looks like the universe. Like, she doesn't have any like hair, any facial features. She's just got white eyes and a mouth, but everything else is just like the stars in the night sky.
I'm trying to think what I was reading the other day that she's in.
Unsure.
No, I'm trying to think what it was.
She hasn't popped up in too many places, I don't think. But yeah, she's literally a living universe that appears in Secret Wars. She just appears. No one knows where she comes from, who she is, anything like that. But she's really cool. Has a really cool power set. I don't know how she would translate to MCP, seeing she is literally the power of a universe. I think
I don't think she would.
No, these cosmic level, superheroes are always very difficult to imagine what they'll be like in this game of MCP that we love so much. So
yeah. They did Thanos well. They could have gone overboard with him, and they didn't. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. What else have we got here? Say, just loading up. Okay, so that's the A-Force comic. Yeah, really enjoy it. If you can find it, get it in trade. I think A-Force in general actually is just collected in 3 trades. You've got the Secret Wars. It's just called A-Force Volume 0, War Zones. And then the other 2 runs are collected in A-Force Volume 1, Hyper Time, and A-Force Volume 2, Rage Against the Dying of the Light. Generally, I think the quality goes down as you go through the volumes, but that's just my personal opinion. I think the first 5 are not near perfect, but I didn't really have much bad things to say about those 5 issues. I generally thought it was pretty good. A lot of fun. But that's really that's all we have for A-Force. Okay, there really isn't anything else to mention about the team itself. So what I've instead decided to do is just look at a couple of comics with characters involving roster members of the A-Force. So first one being here is Captain Marvel, Volume 8, issues 1 to, I believe, 6, may only be 5. Don't hold me on that. The storyline, Higher, Further, Faster, More. Now, this was really good. Like, this was one of those books that when it came out was universally like, wow, okay, like, so this is what you can do with a character who had maybe been, she's been around a lot. Carol Danvers, if we've got 8 volumes of Captain Marvel, yes, not all of them were Carol Danvers, a lot of them were Marvel, but she was Miss Marvel beforehand. She was in the Avengers. She's been around for donkeys, but she's never really been highlighted as this. This is where she had that whole new costume, the red, blue with the yellow star.
Yep.
This was written by Kelly Sue DeConnick, with art by David Lopez, and it's really good. Okay, so we get the starts of sort of romance between Carol Danvers and Rhodey Rhodes, otherwise known as a War Machine or Iron Patriot, as he is at this point in the comic books. It's really good. It's really good. I've got it up on the shelf there. I've read it a few times. We get the Flurkin. Who doesn't love the Flurkin? We get Kree. It's you got everything you want from Captain Marvel. I just think I think it's a very powerful comic as well. Like, it was one of those ones which is just like, she is one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
And you know what? She is also just trying to live her every life, like a normal life as well. But she is this big icon to all these young girls and stuff like that. So it's a lot of pressure that she sort of lives up to. And she's always wanted to fly, and it always goes back to that sort of thing about, hence the story, higher, further, faster, more. Like, she always wanted to go higher, she always wanted to go further, be faster, she wanted to be more than she was before. And this is just about Carol Danvers sort of improving herself a little bit. So honestly, I love that whole, I want to say 15 issues of this volume of Captain Marvel, but in particularly that first volume really was a big highlight for me. It was a big highlight for me. So yeah, definitely check that one out. I'm going to talk about a quick one-shot, which has come out very, very recently. This is Immortal She-Hulk. So, it's been... Immortal Hulk has been a thing for a while now, like as a run by a guy called Al Ewing, and I think it's coming to an end now, but if you could pick that up, guys, you will not regret it. Like, it is incredible. The best Hulk stories, hands down, the Immortal Hulk. But he did a one-shot about the Immortal She-Hulk, and about the fact that the Hulks can't actually die. Like, while they do die, they basically automatically return to life. Like, that's just what they do. And this is Carol Danvers coming to terms with and accepting the trauma of dying, and what it's like to die, what is beyond death, and what it feels like to come back, and the secrets of, beyond the grave, and what it is like when you see that white light. And it's interesting. She then she tries to talk to other characters who have died before in the past, Wolverine, Thor, her cousin. Just nothing seems to get the answer that she needs. So yeah, she sort of travels around, ends up talking to the leader, and it's a really good one shot. So if it's on, if you can find it, pick it up. It's really pretty as well. John Davis Hunt. It's good art, but really, the whole Immortal Hulk stuff has been top tier. So that was just a one shot. I thought it was really cool.
And I'm just going to throw in that Pat does know that Carol Danvers isn't She-Hulk and it's Jennifer Walters.
I meant to say.
But
I've got Carol.
He does know, sorry. But
like, generally, Captain Marvel Volume 8, the higher, further, faster, more, like, genuinely is that good. I have a poster.
It's so good that I now think she's She-Hulk.
Yeah, she's everything. Like, it's that. I hold it to that higher level.
Higher, further, faster, She-Hulk.
Yeah. I do not. Do I hold it as higher level as what I'm going to talk to you next? Probably, but this for me is the best She-Hulk I've ever read, and this is Charles Soule and Javier Pulido's She-Hulk, 12 issues. Wow. Okay, this is an incredible book. Charles Soule is a lawyer himself, so there's a lot of it's really cool. It's really cool. He also writes and he's also written Daredevil before, yeah, this is basically, and funny enough, I talk about Daredevil. Yeah, exactly. I talk about Daredevil. Matt Murdock does appear in this sort of 12-issue run, as does Doom, as does Doom's son, as does Captain America, A Conspiracy Theory, Giant Man, Deadpool, Wolverine, everything. Like, this is, yeah, she is a solo practice. She has her own law firm, and she seems to just make a lot of enemies, both as a superheroine and as a lawyer. And this is the life of Jennifer Walters as she tries to balance those two things. Honestly, one of the best runs of comics I've read. Like, I genuinely loved it when it was coming out in singles. I've got the complete collection as well as a trade. I hold Charles Soule up to quite a high level. I think he's a fantastic writer, a very intelligent writer as well. And like you said, write what you know. And he has written what he knows here, but in a way that's really fun and interesting. I don't think a lawyer comic could be that interesting.
We'll see what the TV show is going to be like.
See what the TV show is like. I am so excited for that TV show. Another She-Hulk, just off the top of my head, I've read before, was Dan Slott's She-Hulk. It was a similar thing of, like, she Jennifer gets a job at a law firm, but they refuse to hire She-Hulk. They want to hire Jennifer Walters, so she has to do that whole thing of like, she's just got kicked out of the Avengers at this point because she's being so promiscuous. Like, that is an odd, like, it's one of those things that people forget about She-Hulk's character. Like, she is a sexual lady.
Around.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of that, and then she gets kicked out of the Avengers, and yeah, that was a really fun run as well. Actually, I've read that pretty recently. But yeah, Charles Soule, Javier Pulido, pick it up. And really, that's all I've got for comics. An A-Force, Captain Marvel, She-Hulk. What more do you guys want? Really good fun. Really good fun.
So everyone should go check out Pat's recommendations.
I think so. I don't think you'll be unimpressed with any of them. Yeah, I was surprised by the A-Force one, is all I'll say. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did, only because there was a lot of like, the comic book, generally online, like any hobby, there is a small minority of people who are very loud, and they are very negative when they see a certain thing. And a team of all-female superheroes, funnily enough, got under the skin of many neckbeards. But yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. And good. That's all I've got for A-Force.
Sweet. Then this episode's going. We're like speeding. I honestly thought this episode was going to go on and on and on, but we're speeding right through it.
I've really tried. I've tried not.
Yeah, no, I think we had to, because otherwise we would have literally spent 2 hours just talking about characters. So yeah, that was the A-Force. We've had a good look at some rosters. We've had a good look at we've had a decent look at the characters without going too in depth, because, like you said, there's so much crossover there. I
just tried to go with,
So we can focus on some of the characters when we break down some of the smaller affiliations, the 5-6 character affiliations, and look at a bit more detail. So the last thing today is we're going to take a look at our next reveal along the line of reveals, a character that I believe we've got a rough estimate of the 14th of May as a UK release date.
Yes, we do. Yep.
Now we looked at her box friend. Last week. Box friend. Oh god, what's wrong with us? So this is Viper. Ophelia. No, yeah, it is Ophelia Sarcassian.
I think Sarcassian.
Yeah. So she's okay. Let's have a little look at her card, and I'm going to read this out because Pat's been talking so much, and I've literally been awake for like 24 hours now, so I'm hyped up on coffee because I did not sleep last night. So we have got a 3-threat character. She is 5 stamina, long mover, height 2. She's got the standard 3/3/3 defenses. Pat, what are you thinking?
I like it. It's very standard. I like that she's a long mover. Yes, I like that she's a long mover. I like the fact that it's there's no downsides. It doesn't change. Like that stat line doesn't change when she goes to her injured side. Obviously, we looked at Sin last week. She has a 4/6 split. 5/5 is better, in my opinion. Yes, we're not as hardy on the second side, but we're not going to be dazed as easier. It's as simple as that. Yeah, I think I like it. It's difficult because I know what's coming next.
Yes.
And I know what and that's why I like it. That's why I don't really mind the fact that we've got 3 across the board. It's why I don't mind that we've only got 5 stamina, because I know what else coming. But it's good. It's what we expect now.
10 stamina, 3 defenses is all standard for a 3-threat, but then you've got the long move.
Then you've got the long move. Yeah. So nice. If anything, it's standard, and then it's slightly above because you get the long move.
Yeah. Then we've got 3 physical attacks, which is nice. We've got a few options here. We've got a builder, which is a range 2 5 dice, obviously 0 cost attack. Power equal to damage dealt as standard, but with a wild poison, and it is called Poisoned Blade. I should have read that first, but her next attack is also a free attack. It's also a builder. It's Assassin's Pistol, We've seen similar things before, but it's only a one-shot pistol. It's not got rapid fire or anything like that. It's range 3, 4 dice, your standard pistol attack, basically. You get a guaranteed 1 power.
Yeah, the guaranteed power is big.
No flurry or no rapid fire. It does, however, have a wild stun, which again is quite nice.
It is. It's funny because you got poison and stun, both sort of conditions that mess with your opponent's power.
Oh yes.
So yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I like the guaranteed power there. Oh, does it? Tell me more. Tell me more.
Her spender attack. It's not too expensive. It's called Viper Steel. Strike. I don't know why I said steel. Viper Strike. I just can't read anymore. My eyes have just gone. So it's a range 3, which is nice. It's 6 dice, which is, okay. It's pretty average. It costs 3. Just double checking. It definitely costs 3.
It does, yeah.
After this attack is resolved, place this character within range 1 of the target. Brilliant.
Nice.
Get a little teleport in there.
Mm-hmm.
And on a wild, it has Venom. Yep, you get to place Venom on the table. No, it's not that. It is after this attack is resolved, the target character gains the slow and stun special conditions. 6 dice. It's quite likely to go off.
Yeah,
it's pretty nice.
I like the fact that you get both of one wild. It's not like a wild you get one and then 2 wilds you get another. Like it's just one wild, boom, both of these.
Here you go. Have slow and
what are you going to do with it? These attacks are cool. These attacks are good.
It's a nice variety. I know they're all physical. I know they're all fairly low dice, but she's 3 threats.
You're only paying 3, exactly. You're only paying 3. She has 2 builders. I know the second builder isn't, a builder. It's just that guaranteed power. But we have talked about this before. That guaranteed power sometimes is
you just want that 1 power.
That's all I needed with Ghost Spider the other day to get the 2 power to use the web line. Like I just needed that 1 guaranteed power. And things are going to happen similarly with Viper as we move on to the card. The fact that we get a decent suite of conditions, poison, stun, and then slow and stun.
Oh yeah, love it.
All really good. Any way of improving the number of dice is going to be nice on Viper. I think generally the long move as well, combined with the Viper Strike ability to be placed within 1, we're already looking at here what Viper can do. So at 3 threat, basically what you have is a character that's very good at doing one thing, and Viper's just that long, samurai slice. You know what I mean? It's just will run. I'm going to run with this sword out and just cut everything that comes in the way.
Yeah, and if I can't quite make it, I'm going to shoot you in the face.
Yep. So yeah, cool. Tell me more then.
So she has some 3 superpowers, 1 of each. We're going to say she has an active, a reactive, and a passive. Yes.
We know the words now.
We know the words. So her active ability is Displacement Ring.
Love it.
Yes, it is. I'm just having to is that what it says? I should have written this down beforehand. It costs 2 power. You may place this character within 2 of its current position.
Incorrect. You have to place this character within 2.
All right, fine.
Sorry, nitpick.
You place this character within 2. Well, obviously you're not going to spend it and then go actually I don't want to.
I don't know. You might have had a stroke. You could have had a vascular problem.
She gets a little teleport to give her even more movement on that long move. So that's right. She can move. If she wants to, she can double move long and get a range 2 teleport in as well. If you've got the power for it.
Personally, for me, this is the best line of text on her card.
Oh, it's so good.
We love these free moves. We love them. I don't think we've seen them on a long mover though. I think we've seen them on the mediums, but I don't think we've seen them on
I can't think off the top of my head. No.
Punisher, Winter Soldier, none of these.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got characters you can teleport other people, but I think, the ability to move long, attack, teleport, it's just huge.
Oh yeah, no, it's good, and 2 powers not a lot in the grand scheme of things if you want to reposition yourself. So yeah, It's good. It's good. Her reactive ability is Coiled Serpent. When this character is targeted by an attack within range 2, you may use this superpower. Instead of rolling dice equal to defense, you roll 5 defense dice, and if this character suffers no damage from after the attack is resolved, the attacker suffers 2 damage. Now this costs 2 power. Now this seems very familiar to an ability that I've seen before.
Yeah, for anyone who didn't watch the latest Bat Rep that we played in, Proxima Midnight has an ability called Martial Prowess. I think this is basically the same.
It's exactly the same.
It is exactly the same.
It's exactly the same. It costs 2.
It's just Snake.
The only difference being is that Proxima has the natural -1 damage.
Yeah.
So Proxima is slightly better.
I think Gamora also. I think Gamora also has this ability, has martial prowess as well.
No one knows that.
I only know because I did look at her card, being like, "Oh my god, she exists."
Yeah. It's actually a really good ability. 5 defense dice is nothing to sniff at. If you're, and it's on any type of attack, isn't it? It's not. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's not physical or anything like that. So, range 2. You're right. Yes, you've got the limit of it's got to be within range 2. Actually, I'm not sure if Proxima's is within range 2.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, it's cool. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I just doubted myself then for a second. I thought it was exactly the same, and I'm pretty sure it is exactly the same. So, yeah, this is a really useful ability to have. An extra 2 dice on any of your defenses is always nice for 2 power. But then also, if you do manage to get that good defense roll, or you're playing against me and I've just rolled my attack roll, then you're guaranteed to do 2 damage straight back.
I don't know, Matt. Like, I rolled 2 crits, 2 wilds, and a hit. And
that defense, no, that was my defense roll. That doesn't count. My defense roll was absolutely bananas. But
Martial prowess and rolled exactly the same as me.
I literally just matched your roll on 5. I think you did what, like a 7 or 8 dice attack, and I just matched it on 5.
Attack.
Yeah,
7 dice attack and 2 hits.
I didn't even need the -1 damage at that point. It was great. It was brilliant. I mean, it wasn't for you because Spider-Man, but it was funny. It was funny. You needed that. That would have just won you the game earlier.
Yeah, it would have.
Probably, maybe. Definitely would have set you up in a decent position anyway.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like, this is obviously really good. Like, it's a really good ability. But she has stealth and this displacement ring. Sorry, I don't know why I jumped ahead. She has stealth, guys.
That's fine. That her passive ability is stealth, which we all know what that does. If you're not within range 3, you can't see her. You can't shoot her. You can still throw stuff at her, which is weird, but you know.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, what I'm sort of getting at here is the fact that 1, she's a long mover. 2, she has the placement ring, and really,
and she's got that on Viper Strike. She's got the place within 1 as well.
Yeah, I mean, place within 1 is sort of goes against the whole stealth thing unless you kill the character and then you're.
But it sets you up for the Coiled Serpent.
I guess that's where Coiled Serpent comes in, isn't it? It's like you've got Displacement Ring and Stealth, but then you've got Coiled Serpent and Viper Strike. Like that.
She reminds me a bit of Black Widow 2 and.
I mean, it's a bit like
Mystique.
Yeah, I was about to say. I think
both of those characters have stealth and the martial artist, where like you've got that horrible point where if the person attacking is between range 3 and not within range 2, and it's like, oh, I can't use any of my abilities.
I get none of my abilities. Yeah, but I don't know. Like, I love the fact that she's along me, but I love how maneuverable she is. I love the fact that she could pump out a lot of damage.
Good objective runner.
Is that where you think she fits in? That was what I was really going to add. It's just like I don't really know where she fits. Like, obviously she's coming out with Sin, and I think the general consensus is Sin's Cabal is probably a little bit more of that go widey, stealthy, control the points.
I think Viper helps with that. I think she grabs an objective. Her teleport isn't, it's not restricted to holding an objective.
Is Mystique better at that?
I think you just run them both. Run all 3 of them at 9 threat.
That's a pretty decent 9 threat core there.
Yeah, right. you got 2 long movers. Actually, Sin's medium move, isn't she?
Sin's a medium move.
Yeah. But you've got 2 long movers. You've got distract. Oh, I'm just going to. You've got both of them are stealth. Sin definitely isn't stealth.
No, Sin's got stealth.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Right, so you just can't target these characters unless you get close. Yeah. So
that's stealth.
Yes,
that's a really interesting 9 core then.
Yeah, right. You just can't see them, and
they're like walking John Cena's.
Yeah, you just got 3 John Cena's. You just can't see them. I think you know what? Chuck Black Widow in there as well. Just stick Black Widow in there.
11 points.
11 points. You can't see them unless you.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's that? Right. 14. So you've got you can get another 3 threat in there. So at the lowest threat value, you're playing 5 characters.
Yeah.
And there's got to be another 3 threat with stealth. I'm trying to think.
Fill the void. I'll check.
If it's a girl as well, it'd be even better because then we can play like an opposite A force.
I don't think so, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, Wasp when she's little.
Yeah.
Wasp when she's little is.
I don't know what affiliation we're playing at this point, but yep.
I mean, at the moment, you're still Cabal.
Oh, that's true, yeah, because Mystique's Cabal as well, isn't she? I forgot Mystique's still Cabal, yeah.
That's
the point. We can get 5 characters in, be Cabal, and so we've still got the leadership ability. We're stealthed up. Probably not Wasp. I don't think Wasp fits. But I guess
we've just
energy attacks in there, actually.
That's the only stealthy girl we've got. That's the only stealthy lady we've got.
Wait, Crossbones is 3, isn't she? Isn't he? She is. I mean,
well, he is not stealthy. I'm just going to put it.
No, but I'm just thinking he can take a punch though. So
he really can.
I actually think if we actually put Crossbones in there, that's a decent 14.
I
might try it.
Zemo with rerolls as well.
Oh god, yeah, and he's a long mover as well.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. There's options there. I might have to play around with that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got Counter Strike as well with Charge. He's quite efficient. I think he'd like that. But I think what we're saying is there are characters who do things similar to Viper, but that's probably not a bad thing.
No, I don't think it is. She doesn't. She's not a bad 3 threat.
You're getting more of the same.
Yeah. And, I mean, she's not doing as much damage as what Valkyrie's doing. In faster. Theory.
Yep.
But she's dishing out. She's dishing out those conditions. She's faster. She's got stealth.
She doesn't have the deception play, but Mystique is a level up. Yep. Yeah.
She can't move an opponent, but she can move herself.
Yeah.
So I'll take it.
Yeah. Okay. You've sold me on her. I gotta admit, I was a little bit down on Viper compared to Sin, but I think you have.
It's. Do you know what? I find it hard to compare, or harder to compare Viper to Sin because Sin's a leader.
Yeah.
And I think you've got to take that into consideration as well, is that Sin opens up some other options for you. So I think it's unfair to compare Viper straight to Sin, but comparing it to someone like Mystique actually is probably a better option.
Yeah, but Mystique's also a leader.
That is also true. But we're talking about her in Cabal, so I'm gonna just throw a curveball out there and be like, nope, I forgot that. But but Mystique obviously does then open up the extra.
But I think what we're saying there is that stealthy core is actually really interesting. You can play around that on those go wide strategies where if you can get the middle one, for example, or get an L shape, for example, because obviously you're a long move, so you can go take those far points quite easily.
Yeah.
If you can take those far points and push other people away, if you can get some characters with a bit more control elements.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Actually, maybe stick Crossbones in there to hold like a middle point as well.
Yeah, MODOK, Enchantress, Shuri, things like that, who can push other people off the points. You then got these
16, those 4 and MODOK actually.
You've then got these longer movers who can go take the back points, and with this character, you can just push everyone else out the way, making them be untargetable outside of a move and an attack instead of an attack and attack. I think it could be quite cool.
Yeah, I think there's some options there. I think
there's options there. We like it, and that was my mango and orange squash. But that was the episode on A-Force and a little look at Viper.
Episode 10.
Matt,
whoop, whoop.
Yeah, 10 is big, but 11 is bigger. And that's where we're going to next.
Oh, yeah.
Matt, who will you bring to the party? Do you know? So
No.
we've got a few options. You know, we may have the Quicksilver card out by then. In which case,
I know. So I won't commit. I'm going to say it's if we've got Quicksilver, I think I'll probably do Brotherhood.
Nice.
To keep it, good bad, good bad. If it isn't out yet, I think we go back to Wakanda.
Oh yeah. Okay, you do the actual one. I'll just do the
W.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I think
cool.
Because that's a small affiliation.
Yep. Nice.
5 characters.
I like it.
So, and we'll just keep putting off Guardians for as long as physically possible. Like, hopefully they'll release some new affiliations before we ever get to Guardians.
At this point, I'm like, do I just look at Inhumans next? Like, I'm just like X-Men. Like, I just don't want to talk about Guardians. I don't know how to win with them.
I don't think we can do X-Men until Cable and Dom. I guess they've got the cards though already, so yeah, we can definitely do it. There might be some tactics cards we missed, but that's the only thing.
Yeah. For me personally, Guardians, I don't know how to win with them.
Do you know what? It's not even that for me. I was quite looking forward to playing them when the game came out, and obviously because of COVID and the releases, if we had been playing at the club every week,
you would have.
I would have played Guardians at least a handful of times.
I reckon you would have had a good month to 2 months of playing Guardians, right?
Yeah, and I may not have played, like just for fun. I probably wouldn't have gone, because I had, read the cards, so I probably wouldn't have gone, these are going to be the ones I'm going to go out and win loads of games with, but I would have played them because I quite like the Guardians. Yeah, they're fun. And, some of their tactics cards and stuff is fun. But I just don't know what...
I genuinely don't know.
Yeah,
we've got a friend that we talk to often, a guy called Marcus.
He said about getting him on the show, and he was like, nah.
I don't want to talk about him. I was like, I'm never playing them again. Like, it was that bad.
Yeah.
And
so someone please help us.
Yeah, please let us know.
At this point, we'll get anyone on the show.
Or if you just send us rosters, man. If you just send us rosters, we'll talk about them.
Yeah, with just a breakdown of what you would do.
Do a breakdown of what you do. Like, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, you don't have to come on the show if you don't want to. Just tell us how to play them.
Comment below and let us know.
Or send us a message on our Facebook, page.
Facebook page, anything like that. But I think that is a good place to leave it. We'll leave you hanging on.
It isn't actually. I'm going to quickly mention one other thing. So speaking of Marcus, if you are down in the southwest, in the Exeter area, or nearby and
close
enough to travel, Marcus is going to be running a Marvel sort of open day. I'm going to call it. It's not a tournament or anything. It's just he wants to get a bunch of people to come down and play Marvel. He's got a few tables and stuff set up. I can, if he suddenly gets a load of interest, I can supply a couple of tables worth of stuff as well. And I think another guy's willing to bring some stuff down. So should have plenty for lots of players to come in and play some Marvel. It is June the 5th.
Yep, Saturday, June the 5th from 10 o'clock at the Union County Games. I think that's just Exeter, right? That isn't outside of Exeter. I think
it's not.
It's in Ashton, isn't it?
It's Ashton. It is in Exeter. It's not like right in the middle of Exeter. So
But the big thing here is it is free. It's just an open game. We have been talking quite a lot as there's 4 of us about getting a scene in the Southwest. We really want to get people going regularly. If we can get a monthly event, 6 weekly events, something like that. We'll soon have a game space. We could have a game space. I know somewhere we could do games day.
Yep.
We've got the scenery. If we can get a couple of events, scattered between, Exeter, Plymouth, Cornwall, places like that, wicked. That's really what we're trying to do. And yeah, if you want to go to that one, if you want any more information, go on the Marvel Crisis Protocol Southwest Facebook page. Click on events, and it's the Marvel Crisis Protocol Games Day at the Union County Games. I think we're both going. Like,
Yep.
I think I've now got confirmation that I can go to that one.
That's good, because I needed to
going back to work going back to work in 2 weeks, for the first time in 15 months. So this will be a big thing. But
I'll be there for you, buddy.
I think you will be. So, but yeah, I will be going. I'm fully vaccinated, so I'm feeling a lot better about getting out. Yeah, getting out and about and seeing people.
Testing twice a week as well, and not one positive yet. I keep failing these tests. It's awful.
And on that wonderful note, we'll leave you there. I think we are going to mention this event every episode we do until the point
up until the 5th of June. So expect us to mention this, and hopefully, there'll be some other events popping up, and we'll get to mention those as well. So if you've got any events, preferably in the southwest, or maybe up to Bristol or whatever, because
I think up to Bristol would be okay.
Even, do you know what? Even Wales, I've been to a few like Lord of the Rings tournaments and things, just like encroaching into Wales, and it's not that long to get there. So yeah, I'd consider it.
I guess like even places in like Poole actually.
Yeah, like like Dorset way
South
as well.
Coast actually isn't that far.
It's not that far.
We're basically saying anything south of Brum is what we're saying. And to be honest,
I'll go further. I mean, I literally just booked a Lord of the Rings event in Gloucester, so
yeah,
that's like a weekend event though, so it's not.
Yeah. And it's at a haunted house, so
it's at a haunted castle. In fact, yeah,
castle.
It'll be awesome. Yeah. So yeah,
we're just chatting.
We are just
rubbish now. So
gone.
We will leave you here.
Thanks very much for listening again, guys. We appreciate it.
Just comment below what you want to see next. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And just let us know what you thought about what you want changed, and we will do our best to accommodate. Until next time, see y'all later.